Hey beauties, good afternoon to you. I was, you know, purchasing something and I was looking on TikTok and I came across a social media influencer that I listen to, that I follow. And the person was basically bearing his soul out on what I would call just abuse. Abuse financially, abuse verbally, abuse psychologically and mentally by a boss that he worked for some time ago. Wasn't paid properly and worked his rear off according to what he was saying. And I decided that I'm going to listen to understand, listen with compassion, with understanding, because sometimes we hear people say things because right away the flesh wanted to say, why would he call the individual's name? But you know what? There's a saying that he who feels it knows it. When something really breaks your heart and you feel like you have nothing to lose. I mean, he and I would approach things differently. I don't just, I probably wouldn't call the name, but I would speak about it. And we're all different. It's not about you being wrong or you being right. And so on. Everybody, all of us, we can't operate the same. We don't have the same brain. We don't think the same. We have similar thoughts in certain things that we consider universal, but there are some things we're just different, and that's fine. And I accept our differences. But as I listen to the individual talking, and because sometimes when you sit and you relax, our bodies are so compartmentalized. We either, when we're reminiscing on something good, we feel good. Sometimes the mind just brings up, memories. And sometimes the memories aren't good. That is why I'm very careful. I don't want when people to think about me, all they can remember is something that I would have done badly and poorly, like treated them badly. So I remember, somebody that I did there, I said something that I should not have, because my mouth sometimes, boy. And years later, and it came to my mind, it's like the Holy Spirit gave me that feeling to call him and apologize, like a gentle feeling, and I felt it, and I sent them a message. I think I was trying to call them first, and I sent them a voice message. I said some things, and I'm truly sorry. I really and truly am. I don't even know why I did it, but I did it. This is years later. It just came to me, and the person was so moved. They needed it. It helped to heal their soul. And this was just something I said once. So can you imagine when this is a case where you're treated badly by somebody over and over and over and over and over again? It goes into this it's like there's a pocket called storing trauma. And sometimes you wonder how years later it just comes back to you. And you sit and you think and you reminisce and you ponder. And the person was saying that he did this, he tried his best to make his boss look good. And the boss treated him badly, financially, psychologically. I'm just paraphrasing everything. Badly. And he said, oh my God. And I thought, even though my circumstances would have been different, I know what that feeling is like, to be treated poorly by a boss that you're giving your best to. You are treated like you're nothing. They come across like snakes, like they think you don't know that what they're doing is evil and wicked. And I know that feeling of embarrassing you in public, or to us, in front of certain people, and they try to do it in an underhanding way. His own was a little bit more overt and blatant. Or people in leadership positions, because they know they're above you, over and over and over and over again. And the message behind some of these things is really envy and jealousy in a malicious and a malignant way. And you have to sit and you say, my God, I have to sit and take this. Well, not that you have to. Because sometimes you run from one place, you run, as they would say, you run from the hot frying pan into the fire. So sometimes it doesn't even make any sense. Because I find in general here in Jamaica, we don't necessarily have strong leaders across the board. You think what we're seeing in terms of politics, it's just politics? Or we have sublets here that are similar to what you're seeing. Don't think it's just what you're seeing in politics. It is happening across workplaces. And if they know that there is greatness in you, Lord have mercy, you better pray that the Holy Spirit, the archangels, the seraphims, God himself come down as your backative, because they're going to come at you. And they don't realize that it's really the enemy using them to create some sort of a vitriol and a negative around you. And they have almost like the supporting actors, I would call them, like other workers and other leaders, sub-leaders, who will see it and know it. And because they're afraid, it's really fear. Fear of losing their job, fear of having some sort of an influence and clout. They indirectly join in. When I listened to him, I could understand. I felt his pain. I said, my God, I know how you feel, fellow. When you give of your best and your reward is almost like you ask for water and get vinegar. Treated poorly, treated badly. And sometimes these leaders would love for you to do certain things. Can't ask you because they know what they have done behind your back. Or what they have done so-called, they try to cover up when they're doing it publicly. Some are awful. Treat you badly. But I direct them to Psalm 73. Just read that entire chapter. Because one of the things that, people don't understand, as I saw in that book and read in that book by Napoleon Hill, I'm reading it. Time is the enemy of injustice and immorality. Time is the enemy of the person, whether leader or regular person, that does unjust things, especially without a cause. And when they say without a cause, you don't have any good reason. Without a cause, silently saying you're doing it because you're envious and jealous of the individual. And you just lash out, and it doesn't matter how hard they work for you, it means nothing. It's casting pearls before swines. You could have jumped over the moon for them. You could have sleep and do somersault, boom flick over the stars. It means nothing. It's like dung, D-U-N-G, cow doo-doo, as them would say. Nothing. It means nothing to them until you're no longer around them. And then that's what's happening. The memories, they're going to remember all of what you have done. It doesn't matter if they like you or they don't like you. They are going to remember. That is the beauty of what God has done with this mind, this brain. They're going to remember. Trust me. They're going to say, what have I done? What have I done? You remember Saul and David? Because the jealousy hit Saul so much. And when David, twice or three times, David said, boss, daddy, you're like a sort of a spiritual father, a leader in my eyes. What have I done to you for you to be pursuing me day and night for years like this, and I've done you no harm? No harm. Saul had to say, you're so right, David, you're a better man than I am. You are a better man than I am. Both in his work and in his character. You're a better man than I am. Because he knew what his motive was. But I know that feeling of, there's a book by Nami, N-A-M-I-E, bullying in the workplaces. You think it is only like just verbal, they're psychological, they're snake-like, devilish. They slander you and they feel they don't hear. One thing, when they slander people, it's going to come out, somebody in that group going to talk. That's what they don't understand. They create a vitriol. Or what they do, abuse can come in a psychological sense. So they blackball you, meaning they don't really talk to you. There's one in leadership position, don't really talk to everybody else except you. They deliberately want you to feel bad. And if they have something to critique for you, Lord of his mercy, you wonder if you're the dumbest smaddy, the dumbest, stupid, like you don't have no sense, you don't have no competence, you don't have no skills, no talent. When they crush you, they shred you to oblivion. You have some who smile, but as soon as your back turned, I saw them fling the dagger. I saw them fling the machete at you. But if fella, I know how you feel. Yours is different from mine, but abuse is abuse. But I direct them to Psalm 73. Their day of reckoning is coming. Trust me. Guys, follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.